All right, let's just jump right in with a pretty bold idea, one that can be, a little uncomfortable to sit with. The idea is this: your life isn't shaped by what you want, but by what you deep down believe you're truly worthy of having.
So let's make this personal right away. I want you to just take a second and really consider this. If every single part of your life, we're talking your relationships, your career, your health, is just a mirror reflecting what you think you're worth, what do you see looking back at you right now? And this really gets to the heart of it all. There's often this huge disconnect between the life we say we want and the life our subconscious beliefs will actually allow us to have. So today, we're going to dive right into that gap. Now, look, this isn't some woo woo magical thinking stuff. This is all grounded in actual psychology and neuroscience. We're talking about the real mechanics of how your inner world literally creates your outer world. Think about this number for a second: 95%. Neuroscientists figure that our subconscious mind, the part that's running on autopilot, is responsible for about 95% of our decisions, our behaviors, our gut reactions. It's basically the silent pilot in the cockpit of your life. And this is that internal tug of war in action. I mean, you can spend all day consciously thinking, I want that promotion. But if that 95%, your subconscious, is whispering, I'm just lucky to even have a job, which voice do you really think is going to win out when it's time to actually ask for that raise? And get this, on top of all that, your brain is actively working to prove your subconscious beliefs are true. It's a real thing called confirmation bias. So if you believe you're not worthy of love, your brain acts like a detective, constantly scanning your environment for any little piece of evidence of rejection, while totally ignoring all the proof that says the opposite. And that's exactly how this confirmation bias cooks up a self-fulfilling prophecy. You expect someone to reject you, so maybe you act a little distant, a little defensive. Then, of course, the other person pulls away and you go, see, I knew it. You weren't predicting the future. Your belief was creating it. Okay, so let's talk about how this all builds up, because these internal games aren't just theoretical. They come with a very real, very tangible price tag that shows up in every single area of your life. You see it in your relationships when you settle for just crumbs of affection. You see it in your career when you become your own gatekeeper, shutting down opportunities before they even happen. And you feel it in your body as this constant, quiet exhaustion that comes from fighting a battle inside your own head 24/7. I think this is the perfect way to imagine it. That heavy backpack is all your self-doubt, your second-guessing, your fear. You burn so much energy just carrying the thing that there's very little left over for actually moving forward, for creativity or joy or growth. And here's the most dangerous part of all. After years of practicing this, it stops feeling like a mindset and it starts to feel like just who you are. You start saying things like, oh, I'm just not a confident person, or I'm just unlucky. But no, that's not it. You've just been practicing a belief for so long that you've mistaken it for your identity. Okay, so that's the problem, but the great news is you are not your beliefs. They were learned, and anything that can be learned can be unlearned. So let's talk about the practical process of actually upgrading your sense of worth. The whole process really starts with this simple but super powerful loop. First is awareness. Just turn on the lights and start noticing where you shrink, where you accept less. No judgment, just notice. Second, you have to name it. Give that belief a specific name, like the I'm not smart enough story. Naming it helps you contain it. And third, you challenge it. You actively go on a hunt for any and all evidence that proves that old story wrong. So one of the best ways to challenge those old beliefs is to upgrade your affirmations. The generic ones often fail because our logical brain just rejects them. It's like, yeah, right. But when you add proof, real-world evidence, you're speaking the brain's language. You're giving it data that makes the new belief credible. This one is all about getting out of your head and into the real world. Your old belief is really just a hypothesis, right? So run an experiment to test it. Set one tiny boundary with someone. Ask for one small thing you know you deserve. When the world doesn't end, guess what? You've just gathered new, powerful, real-world evidence that the old belief was wrong. Every small action chips away at that old programming. Now, this is a fascinating tool that comes straight from neuroscience. When you vividly imagine an experience and you attach strong emotion to it, your brain starts to wire itself as if it has already happened. It genuinely can't tell the difference between a real memory and a vividly imagined one. So if you take 5 minutes a day to feel what it's like to live with a deep sense of worthiness, you're literally rehearsing for your future. And hey, if jumping from I'm worthless all the way to I'm amazing just feels like too big of a leap, and for most of us it is, start here with microneutrality. It's about finding stable, believable ground. Statements like, I'm learning, or I'm a work in progress, build a solid foundation from which genuine self-worth can actually start to grow.
So, the crucial takeaway here is this: your current circumstances are not your final destination. They're just a reflection of past beliefs. And because beliefs can be changed, your entire life can be reprogrammed by you starting today.
I'll leave you with this final thought to take with you. You don't have to tackle everything all at once. Just pick one thing. What is one old, limiting story about yourself that you are finally ready to challenge, to test, and to leave behind? Because the life you want is just on the other side of the version of you who believes they deserve it.